All right, let's do this. Cancer. What are some mid-month messages for Cancer, please? Cancer's mid-month messages, please. Hierophant, Page of Swords. Okay. So, Cancer, I think you're hiding something. You're withholding something. I don't see you being loyal to a situation anymore. And I see a lot of energy coming your way. You're going to be very out there, talkative, restless even. But then you got the Wheel of Fortune coming in reverse, and then the Tower coming in reverse. So the thing is with the Wheel of Fortune, it is a karmic cycle. So I'm not sure if this is unfinished business from a past life or this life, but it's definitely a lesson from the universe that's going to keep repeating itself until the lesson is learned. And then it's like, but it's in reverse. So it's talking about like chaos coming. And then you got the Tower in reverse, which is shaking you to your core, but you feel like you're confined. Like you're for sure feeling like you're trapped. So like, whatever situation you were in, Cancer, it seems like there's some loyalty that you had for a situation that you're trying to let go of. And you're trying to be more talkative and be energetic. Maybe a part of you is not really sharing with others that you're still holding on to a connection. And like this is a cycle for you where like you're like energetic and you're able to let go. And then there's like a part of you that kind of goes back into that same chaotic period of like feeling trapped in a situation. It's like it goes back and forth for you. And like you're in this point where you're going to be like a little free from that situation. But then you're going to get back into it again. Tell me more. Tell me more for Cancer. We got the Two of Wands in reverse. You're feeling like you're stuck. Queen of Swords in reverse. Two of Wands and then the Three of Wands upright. Then the Knight of Pentacles coming in. Ooh. Four of Wands. Damn. 2, 3, 4 Wands. A lot of Aries energy in this part. You have all 3 deacons out. Oh, seems like 2 cards wanted to show themselves. Okay. All right, let's read this for you, Cancer. So, with the Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords, I think that you're feeling kind of like stifled and trapped with someone who is overbearing and very critical of you. Now, Queen of Swords is a very cold energy, and it can represent someone who is very dismissive in this position. I don't know if like you're trying to open up to someone and this person is just like tired of your shit and they're being very critical and maybe even repeating themselves and not really supportive. They're just overbearing and you just feel like you're stuck and they're like giving you all these unrealistic like expectations, right? So there's a part of you like that has like an influence with some like Aries energy where you don't want to be told what to do and you're just gonna like leave and be free because you don't want to be controlled either. So I do see that like you're planning to like travel and go somewhere, traveling and planning to leave or do something But like a part of you is still the, being like reasonable. You're still like dependable. You're just gonna be reserved to yourself and you're just gonna go. I don't know if you're gonna take a solo trip or if you're just gonna be doing things on your own. But like, you're not being reckless is what I'm saying. You're just gonna try to like get out of the space. Hi Kate's Edits. How are you? But I do see here you will be celebrating soon. You will be celebrating and you're gonna be like probably with some friends traveling. Maybe you're meeting with a friend and you're gonna be celebrating something. But deep down, here comes the cycle again with the world in reverse and then the Nine of Swords. There's a part of you that doesn't really feel you're fulfilled. Like you feel like you're a failure and it's keeping you up at night. You're actually having like some nightmares and you feel overwhelmed. Like you guys can see the full wheel here where this person that is Cancer, is up and down, up and down. I think like you try to get away from like being trapped with this person that's making you feel like shit. And then like you try to go and have fun, but then when you're alone, like deep down, like your inner demons come out and they keep you up at night, making you feel like you're a failure and you're not getting enough rest over this. And sometimes you're like, I feel like you're crying a lot too. I'm good, Kate. It's good to see you. How you been? Pulling out hidden factors for Cancer. Ace of Swords, Ace of Swords, and then Eight of Swords. Then the Ace of Pentacles. Then we got the Hierophant again, upright. Magician. And then the Six of Pentacles. King of Swords. Five of Swords. Queen of Swords again coming out. A lot of air energy in your hidden factors. Six of Cups. Okay, let's read this. And if I need to, I'll pull more of it, if anything. So, hidden factors for you, Cancer. We got the Ace of Swords and then the Eight of Swords. So, I do see here, at some point, you will have some breakthroughs and mental clarity on this issue that has been plaguing you lately. It seems like you've been trapped in some negative thoughts that has been like lingering around you, but I see you releasing that. You're releasing a lot of these negative thoughts. You're being open to new perspectives, and you're trying not to be an inner critic because you're just tired of this. You're tired of crying all the time. So a lot of like you are your biggest inner critic, but like you're starting to release a lot of this negative energy. Like something like you're gonna have a breakthrough with that. And then with that in mind, you do have an opportunity that comes your way. And the Hierophant coming in. Maybe there's somebody here that might ask you out because the Hierophant's involved. Someone who is like loyal. Like they might ask you out for dinner, or they might ask you out for like a date, or might even offer you like a relationship of some sort. But like I see an opportunity coming where like you can meet someone who is actually very loyal. But I do see here that's not really your focus with the Magician. And then you have like the Six of Pentacles. I see you more like manifesting more self-care for yourself. I don't think that like you're really like trying to like be involved in a connection with somebody. I think you're more into like what's good for you and what you want to do for yourself. Whether that's like, taking care of yourself, your mental health, maybe doing things you enjoy, or maybe even just like, if you're involved with somebody, I think you're just like not really thinking of being in a relationship with them. You're just kind of there to have fun. Even though they might be loyal and sincere, I don't think you're really into that right now. You're more into like, what's gonna serve you. So like some of you Cancers out there might just be like taking advantage. And some of you might just not be really like into the whole connection, but you're more about like taking care of your self health because like all these things that's have been happening. You're not here to have like a loyal relationship. You're more here to just like focus on what you want and your needs. Um, with the King of Swords coming into play, I do see that you are going to be more disciplined and logical. You're not going to be thinking with your heart, you're going to be thinking with your head. And you're going to be very brutally honest and clear. I think you're also going to be disciplined. Like, even though there is an opportunity that might come its way, I don't think you're ready for that. And it's good to be vocal about that, setting boundaries. Because I do see some conflict coming here. Now, I'm not sure if this conflict is with like a potential partner or if it's like with friends or family, but someone is trying to sneakily pull a fast one on you. I'm not sure if they're like going behind your back trying to like be sneaky about something, but be careful. Um, yeah, with the Queen of Swords and then the Six of Cups coming afterwards, I do think that you're going to be more firm. You have both the King and Queen Swords coming out. I think there's a part of you that just needs to lay out your boundaries towards people that are like trying to mess with you or trying to like control you. It's just like you're not here to like deal with judgment. Okay? You want to be very clear, you want to be very direct with people, and you want to make sure your boundaries are very like out there. And I think that is important for you regardless of what opportunity comes your way or what others might say, family or friends. If you're going through some shit, it's better to be very brutally honest. Like, I don't want to talk about this, back off. Like, respect my boundaries. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk it. Like, you just gotta be, you don't have to like go like full conversation, explanation. You could just be straight to the point and direct with that Queen of Swords energy. Like, we're not talking about this. End of discussion. And, you know, a part of you just wants to like disassociate for a bit. Some of you guys might actually like engage into old like habits from like childhood. Maybe play an old game, maybe enjoy some things that you used to enjoy when you were a kid. But I see you like really separating yourself from the present and like doing something that you enjoy. Hi Alyssa, thank you for the heart me. We're actually doing Cancer right now. So like I said, Cancer, I do think that you are gonna have like a breakthrough with being an inner critic and letting go of all these negative thoughts you have about yourself. Again, like, you have been through a lot of shit and you're going through a karmic cycle where you have ups and downs and it just doesn't seem like it's ever ending. It's always repeating itself because this is a lesson from the universe. And I think like, despite what others are saying to you, I think you're your biggest inner critic. Like, you don't need to be told these things, okay? And you've been through a lot of shit that you're trying to let go of, and it's like you haven't really let go of it. And even though there is an opportunity to meet someone who could be loyal to you and offer you an opportunity to be with you, I don't really see your heart fully into it because you're more focused on yourself and like healing yourself and manifesting for yourself. You're not giving to the situation, you're taking for yourself because like you need to like, I guess, build yourself up. I don't know if your ego has been damaged by this situation, but you're definitely not coming in with like your emotions. You're like head over heart. And, you know, just be careful. There is people planning some things behind your back with this card. You just have to be very honest and just be like hold your ground and be honest and truthful. Like, tell them your like limitations. If people are upsetting you or they're like doing something you don't like, let them know right then and there and tell them to stop. And if people try to talk to you or judge you and try to push you or bully you, just stand your ground, set your boundaries, and be direct. Don't over explain things. Straight to the point. I don't want to discuss this. I'm not comfortable. End of discussion. And that's the kind of energy you need to come in with. And then when you're out of that environment, partake into things that you enjoy, where you feel the most safe. You know? Like, a lot of you guys are going to disassociate and think about like like the past. You might think of happy memories. You might think of like food that you enjoy, music you like to listen to, play some games you used to enjoy. A lot of you guys are going to like disassociate after all this stress and just enjoy things from like your past that made you feel safe and secure. Thank God, tired of this shit. Damn, 2 years. Oh. Are you okay, Lisa? Okay, so we're gonna do advice for you next, Cancer. What's some advice for Cancer, please? Okay, this card came out. 9 of Wands, upright. Death card in reverse. Four of Pentacles upright. Five of Cups in reverse. Five of Wands upright. 9 of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna pull you more cards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull you more cards, and then I'm gonna read all the cards that are upright, their little descriptions, so that you have more context on your advice. And then once I'm done reading all the cards that are upright, I'm going to interpret the overall message, including the cards that are in reverse. Seven of Swords upright. Knight of Wands. Eight of Cups. Okay, let's read this for you, Cancer. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 cards that are upright. So I'm going to read each card's description so that you have better context on your advice. So starting with the first card, we have the 9 of Wands. You're in the final stretch, but not completely done yet. You may be faced with a few more obstacles before you cross the finish line, but you can do it. You may feel worn down, but you have the resilience and steadfastness to overcome whatever comes your way. This is the last darkness before the dawn. So keyword is resilience, persistence, and courage. Then you have the Four of Pentacles. You've been working hard, and as a result have gained quite a bit of wealth because of it. However, you may have become greedy and too focused on material riches to the point where you're afraid to take risks both financially and emotionally. So keywords here is material possessions, greed, and frugality. Then you have the Five of Wands. You may be in the midst of a battle between rivals. In a group setting, there is a fight for dominance and each having their own voices heard. However, sometimes competition can be healthy. Rather than backing down, embrace change and deferring opinions of others. So some key words here is competition, rivalry, and disagreement. Then you have the Nine of Cups. You're in a good place right now in terms of finances, work, health, or relationships. You're also doing well emotionally. Being surrounded by comfort and luxury, excuse me, being surrounded by comfort and luxury is now the time to indulge, kick back, and enjoy the finer things in life. You have a bright future ahead of you. Excuse me. Low-key dying. Okay, now we have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about deception, being sneaky about a situation rather than facing it head on. It may be you or someone in your life who is going behind the backs of others. When drawing this card, be sure to reflect on your intentions and make sure they are pure. Keywords is deception, betrayal, and selfishness. Yeah, someone is trying to be sneaky behind your back, Cancer. Knight of Wands. The charming Knight of Wands makes things happen. He is passionate, ambitious, action-oriented, and is not afraid to try new things. Be enthusiastic about your new projects and enterprises, but be sure not to act too impulsively. Keywords are action, energy, passion, and charm, and fearlessness. Then finally, we have the Eight of Cups. You may have realized that your current situation isn't working for you. and are deciding to leave it behind. It may feel like a loss to you, but take this process of moving on as an opportunity for self-discovery. Keywords is escapism, change, and transition. Up real quick. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands and the Death card in reverse. So basically, I do see you being persistent, which is good, but I do see that like you are struggling with sleep and you're resisting change, which is not good. When you resist change and you resist things that are coming to an end, you're also stopping things from beginning. And so there is more that's supposed to come in for you, Cancer, but because you haven't let go of this situation and this past that's like causing you a lot of stress, you are not able to move on properly. You're supposed to be in a different energy right now, but you're having a hard time letting go. And because of that, like, you're still like going through the cycle of like ups and downs. I do see here that you are a little bit hard on material possessions, which is fine. I think like when it comes... Okay, I'm so sorry. My live ended due to inactivity. So I'm going to do this really fast. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so we have the Nine of Wands and the Death card. Because you haven't really let go of your past, Cancer, your situation hasn't ended with this cycle. And it's not letting you move on to the next thing in life. You have to fully let go of this situation in order for the new thing to come into play. Now with the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, I do see you have been very frugal and holding on to things and holding on to your money, which is totally fine. But at the same time, like, you know, don't, like, I think it's just like, don't let that like get in the way of things, being greedy. And again, with the Five of Cups, it is telling you to find peace by forgiving and accepting things for the way they are, you know? It's like, you don't have control of it, so you have to let go in order to find peace. That's your way of getting your own closure. And then you have the Five of Wands and the Nine of Cups, okay? So I do see here, there is some like competition here, but I don't think that you're gonna like lose. You might be dealing with a rival or someone who is like trying to like disagree with you. But I do see that you are gonna get some satisfaction. So I don't think you're gonna lose anything from this, actually. It's nothing to worry about. It's just some little spat. You'll be fine. There is some things that are upsetting you, though. It seems like with the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse and then the Seven of Swords, like there is some undelivered promises from somebody. It's like somebody made you a promise and then they betrayed it because they were being deceptive overall. And they were being selfish. And that hurts 100%. And it's hard to let go of something like that. But like, I think there's got to be a new way of looking at things to help you move on. Like, this person is not going to give you the peace you need, so you need to find the peace yourself in order to let go and move on. Because you can't keep like being in this cycle of pain, okay? Now, you do have the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups here. And so with the Knight of Wands, it's talking about having the energy to and the passion of doing something. You do have some charm and like fearlessness. Like I see a lot of like fire energy coming into play here. But I also see that there's a part of you that is trying to escape and transition into the next thing. So I do think that a part of you will be enthusiastic again on like, you know, taking action and moving on. But like, I think it's not necessarily you letting go. It's just you escaping currently from something that you don't want to deal with. It's a sense of like escapism that you're just like portraying into. And I think it's important for you to just like really be honest with yourself and let go of the past and find peace so that you can move on, okay, Cancer? But yeah, that is your reading. I hope it resonated, and if it did, I hope it helps you move forward. Alright, what are the mid-month messages for Scorpio? What are some mid-month messages for Scorpio for this remainder of May? I see these start sticking out. The Star card and the Nine of Pentacles. So I do see Scorpio, for the remainder of the month, I see that there's an opportunity where you could basically like indulge in self-care. Like, I don't know if you've been going through some shit, but like I do see like you're in need of a renewal. And what the cards are advising is that you just need to like indulge into like luxurious things that will help like rejuvenate your spirit. You might even have some creative inspiration that might hit you for something. Tell me more. Tell me more for Scorpio, please. Oh, the Devil card. What have you been obsessing about? Have you been, like, addicted to something that's been stressing you out and you need to rejuvenate? Judgment in reverse, Chariot in reverse. Knight of Cups. King of Pentacles. Oi! Hold on. And the Emperor. Okay, let's read this. Alright, so we got the Devil, and then we got the Judgment in reverse. So I think you've been obsessing over something lately, Scorpio, that has got you in a lot of doubt. And it seems like you're kind of doing like some self-sabotage. You've been very hard on yourself. Like, I think you're not really externally judging others. You're more internalizing some judgment, like you're blaming yourself for something regarding a personal addiction. This could also be like some type of material that you've been obsessing over. Or it could be like a really bad habit of something. I don't know if like you have like some addiction issues that is causing you to like, you know, really self-reflect, and you're blaming yourself for it. I also see that there's a lot of like, with the Chariot in reverse, you're definitely confused and there's a lot of negative energy. I think this might be a possible love reading because we have the Knight of Cups coming in here as well. I think that there's been a lot of obsessive thoughts and self-blame regarding an individual that you might be attracted to that hasn't really come forward. And because they haven't really come forward, you've been confused lately and you've been having a lot of negative thoughts and you're trying to figure out why. Like, why isn't this person like that I've been like really thinking about a lot isn't coming forward and like meeting me halfway? That's the vibe I'm getting with this reading so far. And then we have the King of Pentacles and then the Emperor. So there's also been this part of you that's trying to be very realistic. Like, you've been given a lot to this connection, but like it doesn't really seem like things are really like equal. I think you've been providing a lot, and you've like been providing and trying to appeal a lot to this person that you're attracted to, and it seems like they haven't really come forward, and like you've been very like realistic with things, like, oh, maybe like they're not really interested in me, or maybe like, you know, like this person's not really like into me, or they're just really busy. Like, you're not too like far from the truth regarding it, because you have been realistic and you are dependable. When this person needs you, you're there. But I don't think that this person I think this person is aware of your feelings. Ouch. I think this person is sorry. I think this person is aware of your feelings, because they do come off very charming and they do flirt back and they say a lot of sweet things. So a part of them is very much like entertaining it to some degree. And then we have the Emperor here. I'm not sure if this person is an Aries, but like there's someone here that's coming off very like fatherly, or they're like an authoritative figure. Maybe they're like a boss of some sort. Like, they're not just anyone. They're someone that is like, has a very strong authoritative figure. I don't know if this is someone that is idolized by others or has like a large following, but there's definitely a lot of people who follow this person and they command attention whenever they come into a space. Maybe they also have a lot of admirers too, so like they're kind of like used to that treatment, and like you're just frustrated, like, because it's like, you know, you've been giving a lot to this connection but you're not really getting any in return. So that's why like you're giving yourself some space and grace to like self-indulge in yourself and like reinvest in yourself instead of this connection. Thank you for the heart maze and go populars. Hi, wifey. Okay, hidden factors for Scorpio. We got the 4 Wands, Justice in reverse, Strength card. Hello, Darian. Ace of Swords. Magician in reverse. Chariot in reverse is coming out again. Ten of Wands in reverse. 5 of Cups. I'm doing good, Darian. How are you? High Priestess in reverse. And then we got the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, let's read this. Okay, in regards to your hidden factors, Scorpio, for the rest of the month, I do see that 4 Wands and Justice in reverse. I feel like there's a part of you that wants to go out and like celebrate and like be with friends and just try to be happy. But deep down, I do sense that there's a part of you that feels kind of like guilty to some extent, or you feel like things are just unfair. I'm not sure if like this person like hurt your feelings later in the month and then you're just like trying to distract yourself by hanging out with friends and trying to like have a good time, which is nothing wrong, you know. But I do see like there is a part of you with the Strength card in reverse where you're kind of like still self-doubting yourself and you have a lot of insecurities that are coming out to play. I think your self-reflecting is like coming into place here. I do see a lot of pride also getting in the way. You're trying to like pull out like some like inner strength, but there is a lot of like insecurities you're dealing with while you're like self-reflecting. But there's going to be a point where you do come across like a mental clarity with this Ace of Swords. This usually means like a breakthrough with something, or it means like some new conflict is coming through. But either way, in your case, I think that like despite all this like inner negative like self-talk, you could say, you're gonna come across like a breakthrough that's gonna make sense, where you're gonna be like, aha, yeah, that, okay, this makes sense to yourself. Then you got the Magician in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. Okay, so I see like there's a lot of insecurity still like coming into play. I think someone here isn't coming forward in an act of manipulation. What does that mean? So I think this person is trying to get you to do something by not coming forward. Like they're playing games with you. Like nothing's really manifesting here because like they're aware of how you feel, but they're purposely not coming forward because they want you to like do something. Maybe they want you to come forward, or they're testing to see how like strong your feelings are. But you're like not into it because you've been carrying all this weight and you're doing it all by yourself, and you're just burned out by it. I don't think that you're gonna continue pursuing this person because it feels like you're carrying all the like burden and you're the one dealing with all this shit, and you're just like over it. I do think that you're going to be letting go, but there is going to be a part of you with this Five of Cups that's going to be feeling disappointed, and you're going to grieve the connection, and you're going to be like really looking at the disappointments in this connection. So like with the Five of Cups, you notice the guy staring at the cups on the bottom, but not really paying attention to the cup standing. You're more focused on your disappointments and regrets, and you're going to be like really honing in on that in order to move on. I do see here, though, like, while you're in your emotions, like, I do think that you're going to withdraw for a while, and there might be some misunderstandings of some sort, but I do think that there is a part of you that's thinking more logically instead of intuitively. Like, I think you're going to be really, like, hard with your hard truth. You're going to be brutally honest with yourself because you're just done with this shit, and you're not going to continue playing these games. But don't worry, because you do have the Ten of Pentacles coming at the end. That's showing me that you have a lot of financial security. Maybe you've been giving a lot financially to this connection, and once you stop and you cut off, you're going to enjoy your money to yourself. So it's like, you know what? Level up, queen. Focus on yourself. Don't give to others. And, you know, just be honest with yourself. Like, if this person's not giving back to you and they're playing games and they're being manipulative and playing cat and mouse with you, like, you don't deserve that. And I'm sure you don't want that. And it's just like, you're doing all the work out here and they're making you dance like a monkey. Like, Like, get out of here with that. So, keep it real with yourself. Keep it moving. Definitely go out shopping. Go hang out with your friends. Do some self-care. And don't be, like, indulging into that bullshit no more. Because you deserve much more than that, Scorpio. Hi, Minnie Mo. Can this be work-related? It could be. Take it how it resonates. If it's resonating with you to some degree, then yeah. Thank you for the heart, me, and go popular and the roses. Alright. But those are your hidden factors. Let's pull out some advice for you, Scorpio. Some advice for Scorpio, please. We got the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Pentacles upright. Nine of Wands in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, High Priestess upright this time, and then the Ace of Wands in reverse. And then the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, let's read this. Okay, so for your advice, I am going to read all the cards that are upright with their little descriptions. I see two of them here to give you more context for your advice. And then I'm going to try to interpret the overall spread here. Alright, so we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is patient, methodical, and hardworking. Trustworthiness, reliability, and routine work are required from you right now. The work may seem dull, but they will pay off eventually. You must see all your tasks through to the end. So some key words here is practicality, steadfastness, and routine. Excuse me. And then we have the High Priestess upright this time. So the High Priestess is the ruler of unconsciousness, and beckons you to pass through the veil and look inward. Your intuitive sense right now is providing you with some useful information and is assisting you to become more in touch with your subconscious mind. Keyword is higher power, secrets, and mystery. So also, like, High Priestess is just generally like trust your gut feeling and your intuition regarding a situation. So let's start interpreting this. So we have the Seven of Wands and the Page of Pentacles both in reverse here. So there's going to be a part of you that feels like you're like literally so overwhelmed. Like you just want to give up. You want to let go and give up. And you're not really committed to whatever this thing is that's been stressing you out. But you have to stick it to the end. You have to like develop this habit of working that is beneficial for you and this challenge you're dealing with. And you have to see things to the end. Don't give up on it. And there's a part of you that is feeling hesitant and very like paranoid as well, but I think you have to let go of that and find some acceptance in order to be able to continue with peace. Whatever has been wronged, or if you've been wronged or if you wronged others, there has to be a point of like, you know, coming to terms with it and accepting it in order to like be at peace, or like addressing it directly if you could. I do see here with the Six of Pentacles, because you have the Five of Cups in reverse and then the Six of Pentacles, there is going to be some debt involved. I'm not sure if like if you're going to be giving money to others or you're going to be like getting debt that you have to take care of, but definitely be careful with your spending. I know in the beginning of the reading, like it was talking about like going out and like spending on yourself and, you know, enjoying in luxuries, but like there is definitely some debt coming your way that you might want to save up for. So just be very frugal with how you go about spending your money. Then we have the Queen of Cups in reverse and then the High Priestess. So there is a part where there is some emotional insecurity that's happening here. I'm not sure if someone is being cold or if you sense something is like the vibes is off, but with the High Priestess following afterwards, it's telling me that like Scorpio, that you have to trust your intuition. If you think somebody is being like cold and giving you the cold shoulder, then they are for a reason. Like, don't think it's just all in your head. There's a reason why you're feeling this gut feeling. Like, trust it and act accordingly, okay? Then you have the Ace of Wands in reverse, followed by the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So there is like not much going on with you like romantically, but that's okay. Because there's so much more that's coming your way. There might be some financial worry that you'll be having. And you might be dealing with someone who is very greedy. So I think like while you like are being shown these different qualities from this person, you're gonna start feeling less attached to them, and then you're gonna start feeling really bored of them. Like you're gonna notice like all these negative qualities about this person, and you're just like turned off by it. Like if they're not helping you grow and they're just like being a parasite, then it's like it loses its charm after a while, because what are they really giving you at the end of the day, right? I feel like a part of you is going to be very realistic moving forward, and you're going to be more frugal with your finances, because I do see something's coming your way. But if you ever feel like you want to give up, you can't. You have to like hang in there and see things to the end. But yeah, that's your reading, Scorpio. I hope that resonated, and if it did, you know, I hope this reading helps you in moving forward. Pisces, what are some mid-month messages for Pisces for May? Oh shit, that don't count. Temperance in reverse. Pisces, please. And the King of Cups. Okay, let's see. Pisces. It seems like you're dealing with a conflict that you've been feeling really like impatient about, because it's giving you a lot of instability. It's a type of conflict that you are trying really hard to be considerate and generous with. Let's pull out more cards. We got the Eight of Cups in reverse and then the Queen of Swords in reverse. Nine of Wands in reverse and Nine of Pentacles upright. Number 9 might mean something to some of y'all since it came out twice. And then the Four of the Four of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, so we got the Eight of Cups and then the Queen of Swords in reverse. So there's a conflict that you're experiencing, Pisces, that you're trying really hard to be considerate and generous with. But you're worried because you feel like whoever, if this is a conflict with another person, I think you're worried about this person drifting away from you. Because they're really withdrawn from you and you're beginning to feel very hopeless. And you're just scared that they're never going to come back. And so I think this person is in their Queen of Swords energy. I think this is not you, but them. They've been very critical and dismissive. You might have said that they're like overbearing to some extent. And like, I don't know if you guys got in a fight. And so like this person drifted away from you. But like, you're also like not really you don't really want to let go of this person either. You feel really unstable without them. Despite them being critical and dismissive, like they bring a lot of stability and you want them back, is what I'm getting. It's just that I think they were saying some things that you just couldn't really handle. Like maybe they were too direct with you with their honesty. And maybe you retaliated to some extent and it pushed them away. And you know, maybe you guys haven't been talking for a while and you're scared that they're like gonna be permanently withdrawn from you. I do see here with the Nine of Wands that you are extremely anxious and frustrated. I think you've been looking back at the situation and still on the defensive side with how you came off. But like, this person, you don't really want to let them go. Like, you're still kind of looking and waiting for them to come back. This person is very like stable. They bring a lot of like satisfaction into your day whenever you talk to them. They also are very good at taking care of themselves, and they seem to be very financially stable. And I think that's why like you're not really ready to let go. This is a love reading to some extent, I feel. And it just seems like okay, when I say this is a love reading, guys, I mean like, I have a feeling this is pertaining to someone who has a Pisces as their Venus. So definitely check your birth charts for your Venus placements, because I think this is a Pisces in its Venus placement. Because this feels like a separation with someone that Pisces was very much into. And it wasn't just anyone. It was someone who was very satisfying to be around. They said things that were very that rubbed this Pisces in a way that like no one else could. They were someone who was very financially stable. They took care of themselves. And I think that they were also trying to take care of this person, this Pisces. But the way they were trying to take care of this person, they were very critical and dismissive of like some of the sensitivity of a Pisces that was very sensitive. And they got frustrated and they were on the defensive, and they may have said some things that pushed this person away. And I think this Pisces just has been considerate with this whole, is trying to be generous and considerate by giving this person their space, but they're also very anxious because they don't want this person to completely disappear and drift completely away. They want to come back to this person and be with them, because they feel like there's a lot of like stability with this person, and they just like they miss them. They want to come back with them, and they want to be able to celebrate coming back with them. Like, they think that if they see this person, they'll be very happy. There'll be a lot more harmony in their days, and this is their person, you know what I'm saying? And it just seems like right now they're dealing with a lot of burdens and responsibilities, and they're just stressed out. This Pisces has been going through a lot lately, and they just genuinely like feel like things are much more tougher and heavier without this person around. Let's pull out some hidden factors. What are some hidden factors for Pisces? Four of Cups. Ace of Wands in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles came out again by reverse, followed by that Three of Swords. Knight of Swords. The Sun. Four of Wands came out again. So I'm gonna... Okay, we got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Wands afterwards. And then you got the King of Wands. Temperance came out again. And then we got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, let's read this. Hidden factors. Okay, so Pisces, regarding your hidden factors, that's coming to you for the mid-month messages, we have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So I think that there's going to be a lot of like meditation that you're going to be doing for the rest of the month, where you're going to really just like disconnect from a lot of like things and people to just really like think about this connection. Like you're actually going to give some time to think more about it and contemplate on some things until like the right thought comes in on what you want to do with this. There are some delays that are coming into play too. I'm not sure with the Ace of Wands. Like there's not a lot of action going on here. I think like things are like going to be stagnant for you for a bit while you're thinking about this. And then you got the Nine of Pentacles coming out again with that Three of Swords in reverse as well. So there's a part of you that is kind of like just hustling and living beyond your means. So I think there's a reason why you're like, but yeah, so Pisces, I do see some of you guys taking some time to meditate while things aren't really happening. I know that you wish things would happen right away, but it doesn't seem like anything is happening. There's going to be delays. I was explaining the Nine of Pentacles here. So the Nine of Pentacles came out, but this time it's in reverse. So there's something here that is telling me that like Pisces, there's some of you guys out there that are kind of living above your means. What does that mean? It means that like you're living very bougie, and whatever job you have, whatever money you're getting is not keeping up with the lifestyle that you're trying to live. And that's why you feel unstable. And maybe like this person might have pointed this out to you and kind of called you out for it, and then you got upset and was defending yourself. That could be one possibility, but that's very specific. So, but overall, I think that what they're saying here is that you guys have been hustling and living on a false success. Right? What does that mean? It means that like I said, you've been living bougie. You probably have a really nice house, or you have like nice things that, you know, make it seem like you're living really well and you have a lot of money, but you don't. You're struggling to keep it, and you're struggling to maintain it. So it's like, to others on the outside, you look very successful, but to you, you know the truth. You're not that stable. And it's one of your big insecurities. And maybe this came up in conversation with someone that pointed it out to you, and you couldn't handle it. That could be pertaining to the earlier spread. But basically, you're hustling right now. And you're going to continue hustling while you're withdrawn from people. There's a lot of like negative self-talk that I see here with the Three of Swords in reverse. You're trying to release a lot of the pain from the past, and you're trying to move on. But I think that like it's still going to be maintaining a presence in the remainder of the month as you self-reflect. There's still so much that you need to release, and there is a part of you that needs to learn how to forgive where forgiveness is like, warranted. Sometimes holding on to like painful things and not really like letting go of the past is gonna carry on with us, and it's gonna have a hard time like finding happiness. But like I see that like you're still like probably like blaming yourself for a lot of things. My thing is, I don't think you should dwell too long on that. I think it's important to recognize where you could have done things better. And if you think you have a chance of making things better, try to make it better. Don't like let it sit there and cry about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my inner Aries reacting to that. Giving advice. And then here we have the Knight of Swords and then the Sun card. So I do think that there is a part of you that will be very ambitious, and you're gonna start like driving forward to success. You're not gonna hold still. You're done holding still. So like after like this whole period of like negative self-talk and negative self-worth and just like thinking about everything, you're gonna go into your your Knight of Swords energy, where you're gonna be charging in and you're gonna try to like hustle and make your mark. You're gonna be much more like action oriented and more driven to like be successful with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Maybe it's with work, maybe it's with a project, but I see you like suddenly getting motivation to move, and it's gonna make you feel good to like work and like make money or do whatever it is that you're doing, like succeeding in a project. Like you're gonna be feeling much better once you start moving. I think staying still does not feel good for you. Like moving and doing something and expressing yourself and doing things is definitely gonna make you feel more happier, and feeling successful with whatever it is that you try to do is what's gonna make you feel better. Again, like I do see here with this Four of Wands, I think that there's somebody, I think this is pertaining to the person that was in the earlier spread. Like there's a part of you that's still thinking about this person and wanting to like be with them, and you think that once you see them you're going to be much more happier. I think this is the person you see yourself ending up with. There are going to be challenges involving this person, but I think that there's a part of you that's going to be very much influenced with the Sun and the Knight of Swords energy, where you're being driven to like dive in and charge forward. I think a part of you is kind of like might attempt to charge towards this person, but there's going to be some challenges with that. But like feel like part of you is willing to go through the competition. And there's a part of you that's going to be maintaining control of yourself. And I think like another thing that I'm seeing here is like maybe like you see some people who might be interested in the person that you care about is going to like motivate you in wanting to like fight for them, because this is also a competition card. So like I think whatever challenges that come, you're going to like fight and take it head on, because you don't want to lose this person. But like these are hidden factors, okay? So like I'm not sure if like you're actually gonna do that, or like you're gonna be in your head and like display that in your own way. I'm not sure, or it's kind of like vague because it's in the hidden factors, but like something's going to happen where you're gonna like want to charge forward and compete for this person, that because you see yourself ending up with this person. Like this is someone that you are happy to be with, and you don't want anyone else to like take that away from you, and I think you're trying to protect that that connection. And with the King of Wands coming in reverse, like it doesn't help because it talks about being very impulsive. This is a lot of fire energy, okay? I see a lot of impulsiveness coming out of you once you're in this energy. I think you're putting a lot of like high expectations. Some expectations might be unachievable, but like you're gonna be making haste. Like you're gonna be rushing in. Like you're not gonna even think about it. You're just gonna do it, and you're not gonna do it like medium energy. You're gonna go in like from 0 to 100 type of like impulsive energy. Like you're charging in, and you don't give a fuck. You're gonna just do it. You're gonna go with it, and there's not much thought you're gonna put into it. And then you get the Nine of Pentacles coming in, right? I mean the Six of Pentacles, and so with this, it's in reverse. So like this is supposed to be give and take, right? I think this one you're taking. I think with this impulsiveness, like you're gonna be acting on taking what's yours. All right, because it's in reverse, it's usually like give, but this one I think you're taking. I think like you're gonna take what you think belongs to you and fight for it, and it's like instinctively, like you're not gonna let anyone take it. And like you'd be damned if someone were to take what's yours. And I think this is something that you're very territorial with. Then you have the Temperance card coming in, which talks about balance and moderation and being patient and like finding purpose. Like you'd see like there's like the two cups here, right? But like they're kind of like balancing it out. Like I think that after all this stuff, like if you do talk to this person, I think you have to like meet them halfway in some like conversation or communication. There has to be more balance between this connection in order for it to last. So there's some things that needs to be settled where things are more in moderation. Let's pull you some advice. This is kind of like crazy. Hi Heather, welcome in. Thank you so much for the heart me and go popular. So let's get you some advice, Pisces. Got the Page of Cups. Ace of Swords. Temperance is coming out again, but it's in reverse. I think this is the third time Temperance came out. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. Hi, Cynthia. Welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. Knight of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Ten of Wands, Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords showed itself. Page of Wands. Okay, and then I see these cards sticking out. Four of Pentacles, the Emperor. Okay, let's read this. Alright, so for your advice, I'm going to read all the cards that are upright. And then I'm going to read all of them and interpret the overall spread. So starting here, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So that you have more context for your advice. Seven of Pentacles, you are thinking of the future and you have been investing a lot of time and effort into a long-term goal. You have also learned to focus your efforts where they are most important. While you may feel impatient with the slower progress, know that if you keep at it, your goals will come to fruition. Keywords is planning, perseverance, and slow growth. Then you have the Ten of Wands here. This also came out earlier. You worked hard to accomplish your goals, but now you must deal with the burden of success. You find that in order to stay on top, you must maintain the responsibilities you've created and keep working. You may even need to let go of some of those responsibilities to avoid overburden. Keywords is achievement, responsibility, and burden. Then you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about deception and being sneaky about a situation rather than facing it head on. It may be you or someone else in your life who is going behind the backs of others. When drawing this card, be sure to reflect on your intentions and make sure they are pure. Keywords is deception, betrayal, and selfishness. And then we have the Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands, like the Fool, has a fresh yet passionate outlook on life. Drawing this card indicates that you have a creative spark in you, so go ahead, be spontaneous, and follow your creative muse. Keywords is exploration, enthusiasm, and discovery. And then here you have the Four of Pentacles. So you've been working hard and as a result have gained quite a bit of wealth because of it. However, you may have become greedy and too focused on material riches to the point where you're afraid to take risks both financially and emotionally. Keywords is material possessions, greed, and frugality. And then lastly, you have the Emperor card coming out. As the father figure of the tarot deck, the Emperor suggests that you are adopting this fatherly role, providing for your family and protecting and defending your loved ones. You may be the breadwinner or the rock for those who rely on your stability and security. Keywords is stability, power, aid, and protection. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to try to interpret this overall spread. So here we have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So with the Ace of Swords in reverse, I don't think that you have full clarity on what happened between you and this person. There was definitely an injustice that occurred here, and there's been a lot of hostility, but not all the information is on the table. Like, I think there's a lot of things that was misunderstood between you and this person. And there's also a part here where someone was very immature and they tried to escape the situation because they didn't want to, like, they didn't have much focus on the situation. This could be you or this could be the other person, but this is in regards to advice, so take it how it resonates. Don't be hostile. Like, we want to make sure that we can help you get to the right direction, okay, Pisces? So just understand that there was an injustice here and you don't have the full, like, story here. There's a lack of clarity involved, and, you know, like, there's a lack of focus involved as well. I'm not sure if someone was trying to run away, but this is what this portion of the reading is suggesting. Then you have the Temperance coming out again in reverse, and then the Seven of Pentacles. So there's a reason why there was a separation here, okay? Either you guys had some competing interests, or there was some slow growth between you guys and not enough planning. And there wasn't much perseverance that took place here. Maybe one was persevering more than the other, but there was definitely, like, you know, not enough communication and planning together for this connection to continue. That's why there was some separation involved. I feel like you guys were like on different pages of the book and never really got to meet each other halfway. I also see here with the Knight of Pentacles and then the Five of Swords that there was definitely someone here stuck in a routine, and it became boring after some time. And someone else was starting to notice that, and someone was beginning to feel very restless because they noticed the other person was getting bored in this routine. There was also some unresolved issues here that happened that it's suggesting. Like, I don't know if you guys like argued and didn't continue the argument or came to a conclusion with each other, but it was never resolved. And because of that, when new things come up, this old issue would come back into the argument and it would reopen some past wounds. And so, like, you got new wounds from the new issue that you guys might be arguing about, and then you have the old wounds coming up, and then people got more hurt than was warranted for the current issue. And that's where maybe things kind of came out of focus. Maybe somebody was still hurt about like a past issue, and that hurt followed into this new situation, and it just kept adding on, and it wasn't really focused on that issue that was currently happening. So like there was a lot of things piling up here, which kind of like added on to like some of the issues that were happening here. Then you got the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Swords in reverse. So I think somebody here was taking most of the burden and responsibility for some of the issues that were happening, more so than the other person as well. Somebody was definitely like holding more weight than the other, and they didn't want to hold the weight anymore. It's either you or someone else. And I think that there needs to be more honest conversation that needs to happen here if you want to continue this connection. With this Eight of Swords, it's suggesting that you be open to change and really self-reflect. Not on the defensive side, but just self-reflect on how you could have handled things much differently. Like, there's different ways and different moves that you could have taken to go about this, and maybe like be more honest that like, okay, like I'm not really over this past conversation, and I want to like not drag it into this conversation. Let's resolve this, and if it's not resolved, I need to be honest that I'm not feeling better after this conversation. Like, there has to be more transparency in order to grow, because like there's some things that are repeating itself, and it means that we're stuck in the past. And in order to move past that point, you need to be open to change and embrace change. And so like either this is you or the other person, but regardless, there has to be some self-reflection here where you find yourself like some like you think things that you can work on, like these triggers, and try to acknowledge when the triggers happen, so that way like you're able to like stop yourself and go about things differently in order for things to progress. Then you have the Seven of Swords and the Page of Wands, right? So there is some betrayal here as well. Somebody betrayed somebody here, and it's due to selfishness. And I think that person needs to address it and talk about it, own up to it, and be open to trying new things. With that Page of Wands, Page of Wands talks about like being very enthusiastic about like new things and exploring. So it's just like some territories that you never thought about exploring before in this connection, you should definitely be open to it in order to like proceed. But you also have the Four of Pentacles coming in with the Emperor, right? So there's a part here, I'm not sure if this is you or the other person, but somebody is going to be very frugal with their material possessions. I don't know if this is you or the other person, but they're doing it because they want to be stable. And like, it's like an act of protection for themselves. So I'm not sure if this person is holding back on like spending with you, or you're holding back on spending. Like, take it how it resonates. But like, there is definitely people holding back on spending because they're like trying to be more stable and protect themselves, and it gives them more empowerment. Hey, okay, let's put it in your perspective. Like, if you are struggling to be stable, then you're gonna have to hold back on your spending habits, right? And I do see that was an issue earlier in the earlier spread. But if this person spent a lot on you and they're very stable, trust them. Okay, give them that empowerment. Especially if you want to get back with them. Like, they need to feel safe and they need to feel protected. And it's just like, I'm sensing this person has a lot of like pain from this connection. And if you really truly want to work things out with them, you have to let them feel safe and empowered. If they don't want to like spend money or anything like that, then let them. But yeah, that was Pisces. If that resonated with you, I hope it helps you moving forward. And now, that concludes our mid-month messages. I won't be doing mid-month messages next month. However, I will start doing love readings for all signs. And I will be doing open yes or no questions. The only thing I ask for is, you know, to follow me back and to drop a heart me, and I'll answer a quick yes or no with no like explanation. If you guys want explanation, then just send a gift. I have them listed there.